Let's say you were to die tomorrow. How do you think people would react? I'm assuming you probably think that, oh, yeah, they're going to grieve because they are, obviously. If you have loved ones, people who you're constantly with, yeah, they're going to grieve lots. Lots and lots and lots. Then 2 weeks are going to pass. They're going to slowly start to get better. 3 weeks, you're going to be all right. They're going to start getting a little better. Then 6 months, they're going to pretty much be past. And then a year, you're going to be something of a memory that comes into their head every once in a while. And that really comes to show that unless you create a lasting legacy of yourself in your life, in everybody else's life around you, or just in the world, you're going to be forgotten. So that pushes me to say, just do what you want in your life, because there's going to be a day that we all die, and you don't want to die with regrets. You want to die knowing that you changed somebody's life, you did something well, you did the best you could in living your life, and you don't want to restrict yourself to do things that you don't feel comfortable with doing, because then you're just not going to be living a fulfilling life. And once you die, or right before you die, it's your chest, your everything's going to be filled with regret for not being able to live out the life that you truly wanted. And people should live more for their self-fulfillment rather than living to please others. And that's such a common occurrence in my day and age, my generation, Gen Z, or even like the younger generation, Gen Alpha, I think. Everybody just pleases others around them. They don't think for themselves anymore. It just happens to be everybody dressing the same, everybody looking the same, everybody having the same haircut. And unless we start to think for ourselves and live the lives we choose to live solely for our opinion, or not for even our opinion, but for ourselves, we're going to live some very dreadful lives. Like, you may program yourself into thinking you feel good, or thinking that, oh, their admiration towards me makes me feel good. Like, if you're following trends, people are obviously going to like you, but that's not the way you should think. You should think about how if you live the life you want to live, you're going to be happy, not anybody else. You're going to be happy. You don't have to care about anybody else, because their opinions don't matter in the long run, because at the end of the day, we all die, and we all have separate experiences on how we enjoyed our life or not. And from what I assume, and what I'm sure most people would want, is to live a life they're happy that they lived, and not a life that other people pushed onto them for them to live. And I just urge everybody to live their own life, create your own story, stop following everybody else, make new ideas. Think, because I feel like we've lost, and we've obviously had a lot of innovation, but then we've lost so much innovation too, just due to so many people just allowing themselves to be caught in such uh in this drought, in this black hole of social media. Like, obviously people create lives out of social media, and people create jobs out of social media, but then you have to remember the vast majority of people who are on TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, they just waste their lives on it. And that's not how you should be living. You should be living outside of your phone. You should limit that as much as possible. Actually, try to experience as much happiness as you could while you're alive, because TikTok is just some slight things of dopamine. I don't really know how to explain it right, but it's just dopamine in the moment. And then once you're done scrolling, you have no value, you don't feel good, and you just done nothing, because that's exactly how I felt. Or even playing video games, like I had the dopamine while doing it, but then as time passed, I kind of just started to feel regretful and like very empty in anything I did, like watching TikTok or like playing any type of video game, and I just had to steer away from that because I just felt it negatively affecting my life. And I started to do things I personally liked and I personally believed would help me in the long run for what I want to have in life. And though hard work now may seem stressful, hard work now may seem like a thought you don't even want to think of, but you work hard now so you could have the life you want tomorrow. And if I die tomorrow, I'm going to be happy knowing that I've done anything I could and everything I could in the time that I've reached some sort of enlightenment to work harder for the life that I want. And it just makes me feel happy that I'm not really following in the steps of anybody else but myself. I'm just walking the path I chose to take and the path I choose to go, and not really anybody else's. Obviously, I learn from people because that's how knowledge is passed down. You learn from other people, but you don't want to copy those people because you're not going to feel happy about it. You're not going to feel fulfilled from it. You're going to feel a little empty. But yeah, I do believe in attaining knowledge from others and using that knowledge to help improve yourself in whatever way that may be. But I just want you to think about the life you want to live and not the life others want you to live, because that's probably the best thing you can do. Just live a fulfilling life to yourself and not to others, because at the end of the day, we all die. We all get forgotten in a few hundred years. So leave a legacy, make something of your life that impacts the world, and just make sure to make the fullest and best use of your time that you believe is best for you and something you enjoy doing. That's all I wanted to say.